we welcome the captain of our ship, our beloved head of the department, Dr. GVS and Anurag ma'am, onto the dais now. This event has become a reality because of our relentless efforts. Thank you, dear ma'am.
We welcome the exuberant personality, Dr. M. Srinivas Rao, sir, the Director, Directorate of Admissions, Anurag University, to come upon the dais and take your seat, sir. Now we welcome Dr. R. Anupama Reddy ma'am to please come upon the dais and take a seat among the dignitaries this morning. Thank you for coming, ma'am.
Once again, we welcome our most esteemed guests on and off the dais to this auspicious event.
We request the guests to formally initiate the event by lighting the lamp.
गिरिराज सुत तनया गिरिराज सुत तनया सदया गिरिराज सुत तनया सदया गिरिराज सुत तनया सुरनाद मुखार्चित पादयुग परिपालय मां इभराजनुत गिरिराज सुत तनया सदया गिरिराज सुत तनया गणनाथ परात्पर शंकरा गमवारिनिधि रजनीकरा फणिराज कंकण विघ्न निवारण भव श्री त्यागराजनुत फणिराज कंकण विघ्न निवारण भव श्री त्यागराजनुत गिरिराज सुत तनया सदया गिरिराज सुत तनया.
Thank you, Shruti.
We now invite Dr. GVS Ananthalakshmi ma'am, Head Department of English, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, all of you. Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Ramachandram, sir, and our beloved Registrar, Dr. Shamin Fatima, ma'am, and today's chief guest, Professor C. Murali Krishna, sir, Dean, Osmania University, and Dr. Venkat Reddy, today's guest of honor, Professor FLU, Hyderabad, and all the dignitaries on the dais, the Dean Research and Development, Dean Student Affairs, and Directorate of Admissions, and our beloved strong support, Dr. R. Anupama Reddy, from Academic Coordinator from Anurag Engineering College, Aushapur. So, I'm immensely happy to come to this stage of Eltai professional chapter, that too in the humanities and sciences, and particularly with a view to connect with the English teaching fraternity at national and international level, and which will help the English faculty to improve the teaching and research ability. Department of English, Anurag University, is taking the initiative of professional chapter initiation to meet the needs of the 21st century learners, and also to focus on various researches and that are happening, and the innovative teaching and learning practices that are taking place, and the latest research that is happening in the field. To all these things should be tracked, and associating with the professional chapter will always help for this professional development. And here I have to thank Dr. Ilango sir, Secretary, Eltai, Head Office, Chennai, who is the guiding force for us to go forward, initiating the chapter. And I have to thank each and every member of the team of English, because once the call is given for the initiation of the chapter, each and everyone came forward initially without any second thought to meet the requirement of 32 memberships. Now, from Anurag University, we have 20 short-term memberships, and also all the scholars of the department, they are now the Eltai members, and also from the outset till now we have 4, and we are stepping forward the first step with 32 memberships. Then to empower the English teachers fraternity, and also to strive for the professional excellence with all the support of the management and our leadership, VC registrars, our deans, and all of them, we are stepping forward professionally to make ourselves more and more strengthened in the field. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam. We invite Dr. V. Srinivas Rao, sir, Dean, Student Affairs, to address the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Ramchandran, sir, respected Vishar Madam, Professor Samin Fatima Madam, and our Chief Guest, Dr. C. Murli Krishna Garu, Usman University, and our guest of honor, Dr. K. Venkat Reddy Garu, IFLU Hyderabad, and the other dignitaries on the dais, and my dear professors sitting up the dais. So first of all, I congratulate the Department of English by taking initiation to start a chapter on Eltai Anurag chapter. So 2 months back, Anurag Madam came to me, and she expressed his willingness to start a chapter in our institution. It is a short span of 2 months duration. She mobilized all the necessary things, and all the teachers, they came forward to join as a member in the Eltai chapter. So 32 means it is not a single, it is not a simple task. So, so initially our compare, they say that our Antalakshmi Madam is captain of the ship. Definitely, she is the ship captain of the ship. She lead the team the same manner. Okay, so I hope this Eltai chapter will lead forward and conduct many more workshops and seminars and conferences under the chapter. So it is, I think it is, just now I came to know, it is established in the year 1967 by late Sri S. Natarajan Garu, is no more now. So he is a dynamic personality. He started the English Language Teacher Association of India in the year 1967. So this chapter also having, I think, one journal also, language teaching journal. So I think members request members please publish some research papers in the journal also. It's a bi-monthly journal. And one more interesting task. So yeah, I'm a mathematician. I'm odd man out in this August audience, but unfortunately, Dr. S. Natarajan, he also started a Mathematical Teachers Association also. I'm very happy. As an English teacher, he started a Mathematical Teacher Association also. So it is very interesting thing. So finally, congratulate each one member in this chapter, and I hope this chapter will go forward. Thank you, one and all.
We cordially invite Dr. Anupama ma'am to address the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Registrar Madam, and today's chief guest, Professor Murali Krishna Garu, and guest of honor, Venkatreddy Garu, and other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. At first, I would like to congratulate the English department for initiating this program. And I could see all the bright, committed teachers who are already, they have become the members into this Eltai. As Srinivas sir said, it is very old as us. That is, it has been, this Eltai chapter has been introduced in the year 1967. So it is 50 plus years. So being into continuously a professional development of an English teacher means that we have to update ourselves as teachers, and also we need to learn, and we need to interact with many more teachers across the world also at times. And we have learned so many things during this pandemic, the teaching methodology, the learning methodology, the programs, whatever we do related to the students regarding seminars, conferences, workshops, and also in an upgraded way. And I feel this is a right opportunity for all of us to become the members into this Eltai, and also use this platform for the betterment of our students and for the betterment of ourselves also in learning and sharing. So I congratulate all the team of English teachers here who have been registered, because the program has to start with us only. So after that, we can start. When we start, we know what things we can do and what we can deliver to our students also. So this new year with a new start, I think we can do some more things. I think now already, as Madam said, 30 plus have been into members, and we will start trying with more number of teachers and more number of members, and conduct some seminars and conferences regularly for our professional development and for the development of the students also. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Madam, for sharing your knowledge about Eltai. Now it's my turn to welcome Dr. V. Vijay Kumar Sir, Dean, Research and Development, onto the dais to address the gathering.
Respected Vice Chancellor Sir and Registrar Madam, and today's guests, the Professor Murali Krishna Garu and Venkatreddy Garu, and other dignitaries on the dais, and especially my colleagues from the Department of English and the other participants who came here to participate in this event, and also to listen the inaugural session by the chief guest and other dignitaries. So once again, I welcome all of you on behalf of the Anurag University. As Professor Srinivas Rao has already said, he is also layman to this. I am also layman. I'm a professor of computer science. But anyway, we need a lot of help from the Department of English, Department of Mathematics, and other departments, because our placements mainly depend on the language skills and the support the English department is giving. But if I go to the Anurag University history, initially when I joined, I think so 10 years back, the Department of English or the Department of Maths, Physics, Chemistry, they are very tiny, very small. And we used to think that they are only the supportive departments, even including myself. But later, after maybe 10 years or so and so, the Department of English has grown, I think so, more than 20. Department of Maths also grown more than 25 or 30 faculty members. In the same way, Department of Physics and Department of Chemistry has grown to a bigger extent. Not only in terms of faculty, even in terms of the growth, in terms of getting the R&D projects. Department of English have got one project of maybe 30 lakhs or 18 lakhs, I'm not remembering. And recently they have organized, I think so, from AICT funds, also an international conference. In the same way, Department of Mathematics also doing well. They also got many UGC projects, and recently Department of Physics and Chemistry also got the DST projects worth of 18 lakhs or 20 lakhs. And also now they have got their own research scholars. So I'm happy and proud that they are, expanding to a bigger extent. So at this stage, starting this chapter is really good. And once again, I thank the management and also the Vice Chancellor, sir, and also Registrar, Madam, for supporting such events. After taking the charge as a Vice Chancellor and Registrar, they are really doing a lot of things and supporting such type of events. So once again, I thank them. And once again, I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We now welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Ramachandram, sir, to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. Today's chief guest, Professor Murali Krishna, Dean, Faculty of Arts, Usman University, and also is member secretary of SET. And the other guest, Professor Venkat Reddy, FLU, and my colleagues on the dais, off the dais, and the English faculty who are here. Good morning to all of you. And first of all, my congratulations to all of you who are starting this chapter in Anurag University. Actually, though I'm quite often I interact with the English professors, this is the first time I hear that there is some association that is existing. Of course, they are closely knit faculty members, of course, but then this association, I not heard of it, but then having such associations will help actually. So, because we have our associations in terms of, I think you must be knowing IEEE association, ACM association, there are chapters, and yeah, the associations are very important in the sense. So you can network with each other and then see that, you can know what are the advancements that are taking place. It actually helps the professions in a big way. And I'm sure, this association is having similar objectives where you connect with each other and then, get to know what is happening in these areas. Of course, English, in fact, English has become so important. Just now, Professor Vijay is telling that, the English department has grown, all right, a lot. In fact, I find we keep doing the recruitment for only two departments. One is computer science, and another one is English. Right? That's the kind of expansion that is taking place, and there's also a lot of demand for these English professors. I understand, because the importance is grown, like anything. Because in fact, when I was a student, there was only one subject in the first year of engineering. But it has now it has invaded all all the years. I think we have the English subject throughout the BTech 4 years course. That's the kind of thing that is there. A lot of importance given to English, because the first thing that the recruiters ask you is whether actually students have the communication skills or not, right? So that's very, very important. Communication skills means it's taken for granted that it's in English only, okay, not in Telugu or any other language, right? So the recruiters insist that on that particular skill, do they have communication skills or not, right? And that's the reason a lot of importance, rightly so, because the jobs have become global, right? The multinational companies have come, and then right, you have to interact with the people coming from different regions, religions, right, areas, right, and then different cultures. Maybe the English language is one which connects all of them globally. So that's the reason why actually they insist on this language. Okay, it's very important because, if you are working for an IT company, you will be interacting with people coming from different places, right? You may be interacting with your own colleagues. Colleagues come from different places. And not only that, you need to interact with the customers as well. So that's the reason they insist on this. How well you communicate, it's very, very important. So that's the reason why actually now we have a lot of importance given to this English language, right? And it's growing, right? Yeah, maybe these associations will help you actually how you advance this language further. How will you make this, easy to learn kind of thing? What are the new effective ways of learning? All these are very important because now you have to cater to so many students, in fact, right? Almost every student, I would say that actually, right? So whether they come from, different medium like Telugu medium or any other medium. So when they actually come to the level of, engineering, so or any other degree, so they need to undergo this training. So in order to cater to, large spectrum of the students, it's very, very important that you find out ways and means of effective teaching of this language, right? So I think I understand you people are working on that, right? There's a lot of advancements, a lot of software has come, a lot of ways of learning have come. So certainly these associations will help all of us. And I congratulate the English department. And I see that many programs will be conducted under the umbrella of this association, right? So you can invite the eminent speakers from various places, so that, you learn from each other. Okay. With these few remarks, once again, I congratulate all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your enlightening speech, sir.
We now welcome Professor S. Samin Fatima Ma'am, Registrar, Anurag University, to address the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Ramachandran, distinguished Chief Guest, Dr. C. Murali Krishna, Dean Faculty of Arts, Osmania University, and also Member Secretary T.S. Set, distinguished Guest of Honor, Professor Venkat Reddy, respected Deans, Directors, my dear faculty members, my dear participants, a very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank all my English teachers, the entire English teacher fraternity who have taught me words to express myself. Who have taught me how to communicate, who have taught me how to think. I could express my ideas because I had words. I also stood to understand my subject very well because I knew English. And I think I owe it all to my English teachers. It's very beautiful that you know a language, be it English or Telugu or Hindi or whatever, to express your ideas. If you want to learn a new language, sometimes people start off by teaching all the bad words. It is easier to learn. It is easier to learn how to fight rather than to communicate. So language can be learned in different ways. But if you can do oral communication instead of just writing written English or written language, I think that is more effective. And in English courses, which I had undergone, we had a lot of activity-based learning where I studied. And I think it is the same case with most schools and colleges. We had events like group discussion, elocution, dramatics, storytelling, you just name it, essay writing. There are so many activities. English language was taught through activities. And like our Vice Chancellor professors, learning by doing is very important. And English has been doing that since a long time. There are several courses, like Professor Ramchandran once again remarked, that there are so many things that have branched out of English. Today in our curriculum, we just don't have it in the first year, but we have it second and third years also. It has diversified so much. There's an English for technical people. There's an English for business people. There's an English for digital media literacy. There's English for storytelling, data storytelling. So there's so many things. And I'm happy that the English department has come forward to introduce this wonderful course of data storytelling to my AI and AIML students on this campus first. And now I think even computer science and other departments are adopting the same. I think language is growing and growing each day. It is also merging with other disciplines, because now we are in a different era, a digital era. We have English, okay, and computation shaking hands with each other. Today we have language models which are not just based on grammar, on syntax, on semantics, on pragmatics, but we are also building computational models. And if you have heard about GPT-3 today, it's a great place to do chatting. You've heard of chatbots. So without English, I think all this would not have been possible. Without language, all this would not have been possible. And we could not have expressed ourselves. We could not have communicated with each other. And the world would have come to a standstill. I think this chapter, which you're setting up, is a brilliant idea, because in engineering, we already had professional bodies. But in English, I never heard of such a thing while at Osmania and at Anurag. But this is the first time I'm very happy that a professional chapter in English is being set up, and that too at Anurag University. I congratulate the team here, led by Dr. Anantalakshmi and her entire department. I congratulate them for coming up with this brilliant idea. And I thank both our guests who are giving full support in setting up this professional activity on the campus. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for your honor of English language. You have so much esteem for it. Thank you, ma'am.
With this, we have reached the moment we have all been waiting for. The inauguration of the professional chapter of Eltai, the Anurag University chapter. We invite the chief guest, Dr. C. Murali Krishna, to declare the chapter inaugurated.
Can we all put our hands together, please? Thank you, sir, for inaugurating the chapter. Now we request our guest of honor, Dr. K. Venkat Reddy, sir, to unveil the Eltai certificate. Thank you, sir. Can we all put our hands together? Thank you, dear teachers and guests.
We now request the registrar, Dr. S. Samin Fatima ma'am, to announce the Executive Committee of Eltai Anurag University chapter and to hand over the shields of responsibility. I now request the Executive Committee members to come forward and receive the shields of responsibility.
It's a pleasure to announce all the members of ELTI Anurag University chapter, Anurag University. President, Dr. GVS Ananthalakshmi. Oh, yeah. Vice President, Dr. M. Srinivas Rao. Secretary, Dr. R. Sucharan Reddy. Congratulations. Joint Secretary, Dr. V.S.V. Lakshmi Ramana. Organizing Secretary, Dr. A. Pradeep Kumar. Treasurers, Dr. M. Sridhar and Mr. T. Sunil Kumar. Yeah, the other is absent or? Oh, you're there? Okay. Congratulations.
That's why there are two.
Yes. And congratulations, you have a lot of money, Vice Chancellor says. Executive members, Dr. Babi Duli, Mr. Chi Srinivas Rao, Ms. S. Archana, Ms. Chi Aparna. Thank you very much, and all the best to the entire team here.
I request all the dignitaries on the dais to please take your seats. Thank you. We now invite Dr. M. Srinivas Rao, sir, Director, Directorate of Admissions, to announce the objectives, vision, and mission of the newly inaugurated Eltai chapter at Anurag University. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, respected dignitaries on the dais. It's our pleasure that having been inaugurated our professional chapter. Very happy that right now I think we got almost 10 institutions are participating in this with membership. I'm glad for that, and I would like to tell about the vision of Eltai chapter. As we know that professional development is very important for anyone, for everyone who is a teacher, especially English teacher. The vision of Eltai is, Eltai envisions to make India a hub of ELT related activities and the experiences of English language teaching, learning, and symbiotically share them with others. Eltai shall develop into a movement spreading across the length and breadth of the country, empowering teachers to make every learner of English globally competitive. Eltai shall aim at becoming a recognized leader, a catalyst, a facilitator, and a trendsetter in spreading English literacy. And the mission of Eltai is to provide a forum for teachers of English to meet periodically and discuss problems relating to the teaching of English in India, to help teachers interact with educational administrators and matters relating to the teaching of English, to disseminate information in the ELT field among teachers of English, to undertake innovative projects aimed at the improvement of learners' proficiency in English, to promote professional solidarity among teachers of English at primary, secondary, and university levels, to promote professional excellence among its members in all possible ways. As we know that this is very important for any teacher to be as a part of continuous professional development, like learning, mentoring, consultation, practice, studying and improving, reflection, collaborative and informal discussions to enhance their teaching ability. And I thank the organizers and I thank for giving me this opportunity. Before I leave, I'd like to read out the quote by Dylan William, what he says: every teacher needs to improve, not because they're not good enough, but because they can be even better. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. Sucharan Reddy, sir, who is the man behind the idea of the Eltai chapter of Anurag University. Sir, I invite you to address the gathering and also to enlighten us with the future events of Eltai Anurag chapter. Welcome, sir.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, good morning to one and all. Today I stand in front of you to share what is the reason behind coming forward with this idea of establishing a chapter. It is the fourth chapter in Hyderabad. In addition to three other, we are the fourth, but always in a competition, we need to stand out from the others. That's what in a competitive world, where do you stand? That counts in the coming days. So what we are going to do is under this motto, already we are familiar with this motto, that is learn, unlearn and relearn. Again, I repeat, learn, unlearn and relearn. We are going to work under this motto to take forward and also to take, I think, Anurag University further to improve the name and fame of this university further. I think, see, we are concentrating more on the urban aspect. What about the rural aspect? So this is a dream. So I had long back for many years, I think one day we should connect to rural India. Why don't we connect to rural India? Because, there are a lot of communities, it's more of a community project like, we'd like to take this. And the main objective is to connect rural India. I think that's what, to bridge the gap between academia and the community. Because English is a global language, but what about the rural students? What about the rural teachers, rural schools? There are a lot of government schools, model schools. Yes, government is taking up a lot of initiative, but what about from our perspective? So this was, a big question mark in front of me as an educator and enlightener. So what I was thinking is somewhere down, I should start or take initiative. And I personally appreciate our HOD madam in this aspect. And I would like to actually give a round of applause for actually initiating and supporting. I think that's what. And this is a main objective, along with the FDP's workshops and conducting conferences, writing research papers, projects. Yes, these are all there. But the main objective, once again, I would like to just remind is that we would like to connect to rural India. That's the main way. And the second is to take the name and fame of this university further. I think that is what I was looking at. And I personally thank the management for giving this opportunity and all the dignitaries on the dais. And that's what I would like to say from my point of view. Right. Thank you very much.
We now request the guest of honor, Dr. K. Venkat Reddy, sir, to kindly address the gathering briefly. Welcome, sir.
The glitterati and the who is who of this university seated on the dais. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ramchandram, Honorable Registrar, Chief Guest, Professor Murali Krishna, and the brightly looking, sprightly disposed English teaching force of this university who are seated off this days, and also others who have joined this gala event that is going to be etched strongly in the pages of the history of this university. A baby is just born. When the babies are born, they call for joys and jubilations. It's our turn. Please put your hands together. Hip, hip, hooray. A happy morning to all of you. When Bobby called me and asked me to be part of this, I use the word historic event when it comes to your university. I did not actually know why I had to be part of this Eltai chapter being inaugurated at this university, because just like all of you who have just become a member of this Eltai, English Language Teachers Association of India, I have only small responsibility for this. I'm one of the editors on the editorial board and reading through all the papers that come to be published in that. And there's one more perhaps reason that could have made him speak to me, was that the National General Secretary of this association happened to be a friend of mine, that is Professor Elongo, a retired professor from Anna University, who takes up this mammoth job of running this association apart from many things under its banner. There is a slight variation from what I understand about Eltai and what Dr. Srinivasa Rao has said about its inception. I'm given to understand that this Eltai was established in the year 1974 in August under the stewardship of one Professor Natarajan, who is no more there, who also was an awardee of Padma Awardee and a very well-known educationist in Tamil English teaching terrain. This Eltai has become a force to reckon with in the realms of English language teaching, English language learning, because I have a problem between these two terms, teaching and learning. And as a practitioner of English language teaching, I'm more disposed and inclined to say that it is learning which is more important than using the word which is teaching becomes a teacher's job. Maybe some other time we can discuss in how we've got to move from replace the term teaching with learning later on. It's been doing a yeoman service, and not just this one. There are quite a few other professional organizations, professional societies in our country. There is ELTIS, there is INET, there is internationally, there is LTIF, and also TESOL, would have all known, apart from Eltai. And this is I don't know how Sri Charan would have got enthused to bring this issue for discussion within the department, and later it has to go up, scale up from one to the other. I guess this university is very proactive. Now I can see it happening in respecting and accepting first, and respecting the suggestions that come from the teaching force of the university. And it's not easy in a government-run institution or a university. It takes a lot of time, some things to happen. And what and how, as language teachers, I prefer this word teacher rather than other nomenclatures we have for various other reasons. How does it help us? And of course, there's a topic for me given to me to delve at length on the way these professional societies contribute to the development of us as teachers, and of course, the field of English language teaching, learning in general. And this Eltai particularly, having been established and started spreading its tentacles across the country. And whenever I have a discussion, part of these Eltai programs, or try to talk to the National General Secretary, he would ask me only one question. Venkat, you are, placed in a situation where you can change the direction of ELT, moving away from those, British authored books where they look at English as the first language, and they get into somebody else's shoes and start thinking in terms of how to teach a second language. I think we are the best people to devise theory, to devise activities for teaching a second language. Nowhere in the history of the world education, second language teaching was conceived. It was all conceived in our country. Renan Martin, those who were English teachers who were working in the British, those army camps, and were teaching the children of the British Army, that include Indian soldiers working for the British Raj in Karachi. For the first time in the history of any second language education, there was an attempt to write a grammar book solely for the consumption of second language learners. And it happened on our soil. And again, it is in a big way in the entire history of establishing some language through laws, by passing legislations. It was English language which was again, introduced in our universities as second language. In Kolkata University, which first facilitated teaching of English literature. Therefore, he makes a point that we have to have our own methodology because we've all the expertise, experience, and also challenges. That's why we've got to do it. And to spread this kind of thinking, to proliferate this kind of understanding about teaching English as a second language, Eltai, firmly grounded, rooted to spread this knowledge. They also run, apart from holding conferences, seminars, workshops, and courtesy. I think the pandemic would have done a lot of loss to human life, but it has also given an opportunity for us to communicate distance, long distance communication by using digital platforms. So courtesy these digital platforms, the message about teaching English is now done through webinars using some of these. And Eltai conducts PD, professional development activities, CPDs, continuous professional development activities, workshops, and bi-monthly meetings on current ELT themes relevant to the Indian context. Besides hosting or collaborating with other institutions such as Anurag, maybe next step could be by the end of this year, Anurag Eltai. I think, I guess it's in the pipeline that you will also host a national or international conference or a seminar on themes that really bother us in our efforts to inculcate English language habits for the needy, because English is no longer a language, considered no longer like, sadly, of course, in the context of new education policy, we got to say, sadly, it's considered not simply like any other language. It now assumed the status of an asset. Those who possess or those who have the facility and felicity of the language feel that they are more enriched than possessing any of the material wealth. And I congratulate the university, Department of English. I mean, let me use the word, the captain of the ship, because this ship, Dr. Lakshmi, and her able colleagues who still look very bright and sprightly for this space given to me. I wish you all the very best. In case of any need, I'm just a call away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It is now the most awaited moment where our most venerated chief guest, Dr. C. Murali Krishna, sir, would address the gathering. We request you to grace the podium, sir.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of Anurag University, Professor Ramchandran, Registrar of the University, Professor Samin Fatima ma'am, Head of the English Department, Professor Anand Lakshmi, the guest of honor, Dr. Venkat Reddy, esteemed guests on the dais, and members in the audience. Very good morning, and let me begin by congratulating the entire Anurag team, especially the Department of English, for getting this associated with the Eltai chapter, and for inaugurating the Anurag University Eltai chapter. It is said that if you want to teach John Greek, you should know John. You should also know Greek. And you should also know how to teach John Greek. Now, this sums up the challenges, the problems, and the responsibilities of any language teaching, not necessarily Greek, English language teaching. As the speakers before me have been pointing out, especially Professor Ramchandram and Professor Sameen Fatima highlighted the almost invincible position that English has assumed beyond its land of birth, beyond England. This is a time of global Englishes. You have different kinds of canonized global Englishes, and Indian English is a recognized dialect of English language. And today, there are three, it is said there are three very precious commodities in the world. What are these three? You have the microchip, you have oil, and you have the English language. Hot selling items in the global economy, and hence challenges for the English teachers become more and more complicated. We need to be more professional. As you know, the success of any institution, of any department, you need to have the 3 Ds with them. They need to be disciplined, they need to be dedicated, they need to be also very determined. And as part of this discipline, to bring this discipline into their teaching, into their researching, is bringing in the element of professionalism. And one of the best ways to enhance the professionalism of the team, of individual teachers, is by associating themselves with professional bodies. And Eltai is a very proven kind of an association with a very good track record right from the 60s. And they not only publish very important journals, but they also organize conferences. So association with a membership of that kind of a association is going to be very, very impactful to the university and to the department. Now, having said that, there is going to be an increased responsibility for the team in Anurag University to sharpen and fine-tune their skills. And in doing so, I would only highlight a few points. English teaching in India assumes a kind of a high degree of responsibility, because we need to teach English in a manner that is very culturally sensitive, because it's a multicultural society. So it cannot be done the way it is done in a monocultural societies. It needs to be done very, very sensitively. And of course, vocationally, it has to be very, very profitable and useful for our students, given the kind of demand for English that we see every day. So vocationally, it has to be very paying, and also socially sensitive, because there are so many social issues that are there in a society, in societies like the Indian society. So you need to be sensitive. And aesthetically, it also like professionalism. So that aesthetically also it has to be very, very satisfying. So keeping all these dimensions in mind, I think if we forge ahead, we will, the end product would be something very, very highly satisfying and highly rewarding. And in that context, I congratulate, it's very important to have a chapter like Eltai chapter with us. And I congratulate the Department of English, Anurag University, for associating themselves with this chapter. And I wish all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the wisdom talk.
Now, we request all the dignitaries on the dais to felicitate the chief guest and guest of honor.
Could we ask Registrar Madam to hand over the gift to the guest of honor today?
Okay. I request all the executive committee members to join here for a photograph. Please come to the desk.
Could all the committee
With
members?
the shield of responsibility, please. With the shield of responsibility.
Could all the committee members please come forward with your respective shields to have a group photograph with dignitaries on the dais?
You give that also I'll hold.
So please, sir. Please, sir. Thank you.
Department of English, all the faculty. All the Department of English.
Could I now ask all the members of the Department of English to come forward? All the teachers of English department, please step forward.
Everybody will take. Request all the members, participants to come.
All the participants, please come for a group photo.
All is vacant.
Yes, yes. At this opportune moment, we invite Dr. A. Pradeep Kumar on behalf of the Department of English for the expression of gratitude.
The galaxy of dignitaries on the stage, my dear colleagues and invitees for today's inauguration. Very good morning to everyone present here. No academic function is complete without its vote of thanks. So expression of gratitude certainly increases the altitude of the character and the personality of the department or the university itself. So on behalf of the Department of English in particular, and Anurag University in general, and also on my personal behalf, I express my wholehearted thanks to all these dignitaries for making this program a grand success. Please give a big round of applause. Certainly, it's an historic occasion in the annals of the Department of English and of course, Anurag University itself. Learning without being shared is absolutely useless. So to share our feelings, share our knowledge acquired, we need to have a platform. And if it happens to be a global platform, it's a blessing in disguise. And Eltai is such one of the best platforms India can ever have as far as English teaching community is concerned. So it is a wonderful forum. It's a wonderful platform on which what you call the teachers, English teaching fraternity, they come together and share their experiences pertaining to teaching and learning of English. So that is the reason why this inauguration. So the reward of a thing well done is to have done it, says for Ralph Waldo Emerson. So to do well, we need to have a very good beginning. So we have had a tremendous beginning today, and having these wonderful dignitaries on the stage and with their wonderful speeches as well. And while saying so, I say, well begun is half done. Thus, a beginning has been done absolutely well. So I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to first and foremost to C. Murali Krishna sir, who is the soul of our department and who is an exemplary teacher, exemplary researcher, and a wonderful human being, and whose suggestions have been absolutely praiseworthy in the shaping of the departmental functioning as well. So I also express my thanks to guest of honor, Dr. Venkat Reddy. Just now I have listened to his speech, and he is a wonderful speaker, and whose words are still reverberating in my mind as to how what you call the Eltai can function. Himself being a part and parcel of the organization, he has clearly stated that in his speech. And both the speakers have wonderfully thrown light on, as far as Murali Krishna sir is concerned, and sir keeps telling about it. There are three things which are very important. That is microchip, oil, and English. English is a global language, as everybody knows about it. There is, even if you go to nook and corner of the world, you come across people speaking in English. It's a connecting link, I would say. It's a connecting link. It's a lingua franca of the world. That's the reason why sir must have placed, given the place English in the third place. So microchip, we are living in the world of microchips only. And oil. Yes, okay. Vice versa, we can use it. And of course, sir has wonderfully thrown light on the challenges faced by the English teaching fraternity. Thank you very much, sir. We are very blessed to have you here. And I thank Dr. Venkat Reddy. And he also focused on teaching and learning process. And in particular, the role of continuous professional development, continuous professional development for the improvement of English teaching fraternity and teaching learning process itself. So he also made us learn the history of English language teaching teachers association of India. Now, I express my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Palarai Sharid sir, chairman of our university, and Secretary Nilma ma'am, whose constant support and encouragement, due motivation, of course, they have made us, because this particular inauguration happened. And I wish to express my deep regards and sincere thanks to our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Ramchandram sir. And he was rightly mentioning, even in our times also, we had English only in the first year. And even I've studied BSc, we had English in the first year and second year. And the percentage was not to be recognized for the total percentage, average percentage. So from there, now you see how English has evolved. We reached a stage where perhaps there is no other college or university having this many number of electives, what you call offering to from first year BTech to fourth year BTech students. So this is the way. Now, of course, I thank Professor Samin Fatima ma'am for her exemplary personality, an erudite scholar, and a great teacher, and a glib talker. You ask ma'am to speak on anything, she just speaks. She creates a bubble area, and she's a wonderful speaker, inspiring speaker, no doubt about it. And she leaves indelible impression on the minds of the listeners when she speaks here. Though Ramchandra sir and Samin Fatima ma'am don't belong to the Department of English, but they speak excellently. That is the characteristic feature of decent teachers, I would say. Of course, today's teachers need to learn a lot as far as English language teaching is concerned. They don't belong to English language teaching. For them, English is important. There has always been a serious debate, sir. Fluency versus accuracy. Whether one needs to be fluent or accurate. And it's a recommendation made by everyone here that the students are required to be fluent to have a campus placement here. But as far as English teaching fraternity is concerned, we need to be accurate and fluent as well. So that is a characteristic note. And we hardly find any flaws in them, especially these speakers. Now, I would like to express my thanks to Dr. V. Srinivas Rao. He is the ray of hope for the Department of English, and being Dean Students Affairs, whose support and encouragement has been praiseworthy. And his speech also, he also talks about a lot. Whenever he meet him, he always talks about how English language teaching is going on as a responsibility. He'll ask us. And he asked the students also how they are learning in the labs and classes. And he's very worried about English language teaching because that's the bread and butter of the student community. So wonderful speech, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I would also like to express my thanks to respected Dean, R&D, Professor V. Vijay Kumar. The more I talk about Sir Vijay Kumar, sir, the less it turns out to be. He is a magnificent scholar. More than anything else, wonderful teacher. It's an amalgamation, a rare amalgamation of a good teacher and a great researcher. And of course, it was reflected in his speech. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I express my sense of gratitude to Dr. Anupama ma'am. She belongs to our English teaching fraternity, and she also knows about the English language teaching challenges, and she has expressed in her speech. Thank you very much, ma'am. And I express my thanks to Dr. M. Srinivas Rao, who himself is a part and parcel of the Department of English, and who announced the vision and mission of this chapter. Most importantly, I would like to thank, as my colleague was rightly mentioning, the captain of the ship, head of the Department of English, GVS Anantalakshmi ma'am, and for her inspiring speech, and already she started doing the action plan also. She's an action-oriented faculty. She doesn't rest on laurels, right? And we could see that. Next thing is I would like to thank Dr. Sucharan Reddy, Anantalakshmi ma'am and Suchan Reddy in tandem, they sat together, they chalked out the plan, and that's because of this, the chapter is being inaugurated. Now, I would like to thank all the invitees, special invitees, and media, my colleagues, and others who have directly or indirectly responsible for this success of this inaugural ceremony. Thank you very much, please. Yes. I would also like to thank the faculty members who have come from Anurag Kodad, Spurti Engineering College, Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology, Vijay IT, Guru Nanak Engineering College, and of course, my research scholars, our research scholars, for your gracious presence on this momentous occasion. Thank you very much, please.
Now we'd like to welcome Dr. Venkat Reddy sir to deliver the expert talk. Dr. K. Venkat Reddy has been an active part of English language teaching and training for over 3 decades as we speak. An avid reader, eloquent speaker, a passionate learning facilitator, a compassionate counselor, and a dynamic leader, he has worked in India and abroad for the betterment of the discipline as well as the teaching community. He has worked in Afghanistan, Vietnam, to name a few places, on teacher education projects sponsored by the government of India. His passionate intensity, positivity, and sense of humor has helped in the effective creation and sharing of knowledge within and outside the confines of the academia. We welcome you to deliver the expert talk on the role of professional chapters in continuous professional development, sir. And I request all the guests to please kindly sit down, settle down on your seats, please. All the guests. Thank you for your cooperation. I now welcome you, sir.
We were all in a mood to leave, actually, thinking, I'm given to understand with the vote of thanks that they thanked us enough, and so much burdened of listening and carrying the gratitude bestowed on our shoulders, weighing on my shoulders heavily. Now, I don't think I'll be able to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just inaugurated
Kindly please all settle down.
Abracadabra, bring back your mood that you lost. You're quietly relieved. It's all over. Now, another chapter forcibly started. But the elaborate word of thanks studded with a lot of pearls and corals and flowery wording. It was so gratifying. I'm still going tipsy under its effect. The organizers asked me to speak about what benefits, profits, positive energy, I call actually all this, that we can accrue after becoming or having been admitted to professional societies, organizations, bodies of this kind. How do they help us become? How do they reshape us? How do they launch us to understand the galaxy of English language teaching, help us shed the light on the road not taken or road taken but long and winding? Do they really have an impact on the way we understand ourselves as language practitioners, language teachers, language facilitators, and how these associations come hand in glove and walk along or take us along to provide hassle-free English language learning experience? We've had a lot of experience of listening to several associations. In this presentation, I have written down a lot of things, but I think there's how much? 15 to 20 minutes before you really fall under the weight of lunchtime, I mean. Okay, so I'll first talk about unions we would have heard about, headed by all gundas and all. How are they different from the associations and bodies of this kind? And what's a professional association? So when you ask a teacher has to go teleologically, from one to the other, one delivering the other. That's how I'm going to do that. Who established these professional associations? The role of these associations in PD and CPD. What's PD? Professional development, and CPD, continuous professional development. That actually is the topic given to me to discuss and talk about. And then I logically conclude, because any conclusion is only a temporary enterprise giving rise to some other very grand entry. In principle, we all live in organized space called society, which is fueled by certain code of conduct. I think every institution has its own code of conduct that includes what's to be done, what's not in a given time, place, and situations. All trades have their own cliques or societies or organizations, groups, conclaves. Workers have their own unions. You would have heard about it. Railways, for instance. Teachers have their own unions. Lecturers have their own unions. NGOs, gazetted officers, RTC employees, we saw them, how they fought on the roads. Engineers have their own unions, they are. So I'm trying to make a distinction between a union and an association. Once you say that something is a union, it's completely different. It marks a clear distinction from an association. Unions are established and run under the Trade Union Act of our country. Although all of them get the tag of professional association, they rarely think and work towards improving the work culture of their profession or inculcate the attitudes required of their profession. For instance, we have Railway Employees Union. Teachers Union is another. There are a number of teacher unions. My apologies. We have a number of teachers unions, and some of these teachers unions are affiliated to political parties. CPM has its own union. CPI has its own union. Congress Party has its own union. I do not know whether TRS turned BRS has any other unions, but they do, because they are called pressure groups and they don't talk about improving the professional attitude of its members. You would not think about these unions conceiving some programs, planning some programs, executing some programs for the improvement of the skill set based on which they are all recruited. They are there only to safeguard the employment, talk about salaries, talk about working hours, and talk about safety and security of their. There are unions, railway union, railway employees union, Mazdoor union, which is called. And even railways, there are quite a few unions which have very direct association with communist parties, and BJP has one, Congress has one. And what do? Their job is not to help them perform better, but to provide strength, provide unionism, it is called, which many of us, we get to hear that this trade unionism has killed what is called the public sector industry, which is part of our democratic socialism. So they generally work towards salary hike and job security. These are two things. On the other hand, the professional associations, such as, we have quite a few for English teachers. There is Eltis, and there is INET. Have you heard about INET? All India Network of English Teachers. And there is TESOL at the international level. And there is IATFL, to which this particular organization has close ties with. IATFL is a British Teachers Association, of course, is International English Language Teachers Association, with which Eltai is closely associated with. If you have Eltai membership, there are quite a few benefits that are now I've integrated, embedded into my presentation. You will also get to attend these IATFL conferences conducted annually in Britain, and for which you also get a free journal published by IATFL called Voices. And if you once you become a member of Eltai, you're also eligible for a free copy of GELD, Journal of English Language Teachers. And two varieties of journal is available. You can also receive it online to your mail as a soft copy, apart from asking for a hard copy that they post and you will receive in due course of time. Because the postal department has its own sweet, they take their own sweet time to deliver, and therefore what you get to hear and read is the soft copy, and that helps. So therefore, professional associations have nothing to do with the powers be, that's the political parties. And these professional associations are established by individuals who are socially disposed, who are socially active, those who are conscientious individuals who want to improve the quality for which they are recruited, not only their own quality as teachers, but also quality of others. We have Mathematics Teachers Association, there is one, Commerce Teachers Association, Engineers Association. There are two kinds of one. One is working only for the job related benefits, but within engineering, there are teachers who have Computer Engineers Association or Computer Teachers Association, Mechanical Teachers Association, and English Language Teachers Association, also started by people who think or thought that the association would actually provide a platform for who are similarly disposed to come together, connect with each other, and a place and a space to deliberate, share knowledge, share experience, and benefit the entire activity of teaching. So Eltai, INET and all, TESOL, for instance, is an American organization which has international presence and provide a very standard platform, publishing articles, conducting seminars, and encouraging people to do research. There are two kinds of activity that English teachers do. One at the college level, another one at the university level. At the college level, what we do as English teachers is to replicate the knowledge which is already created. Creation of knowledge doesn't happen in a college. That's why in a college, a set syllabus is there. That set syllabus, some of the items that we teach when we teach at the college level are already created as a result of certain pressing requirements from society, which are researched at the university level and crystallized. That experience is knowledge, and that comes to us as textbook. But the teaching at a university, please understand, it's a university, Anurag University. Had it been Anurag Engineering College, the attitudes required of it were different from the attitudes required at a university. Our primary goal of a university, apart from teaching a bit, is to create new systems of knowledge. That is, a university is required, is mandated to do research and produce new knowledges. Professional associations, professional chapters like the one we have just inaugurated at this university must facilitate such environment, must facilitate that kind of a space where all the members will do action-rich research and research on topics, and they must also come together periodically. They should meet up to share knowledge. What happens is, in a university, if it doesn't create new knowledge, if a university doesn't earmark space, funds, and manpower for the creation of knowledge, that's called doing research, and it defeats itself. It reduces itself to be a college, maybe a 10+2 level of education or undergraduate education. And for doing research, what is essential is cooperation from the colleagues, cooperation from, that's called networking from people who are similarly disposed. We must also, sharing the knowledge happens there. Sharing the knowledge has to be crystallized after it is invented in the form of research. And therefore, I would say that chapters of this kind and associations which are created on the basis of the profession will usually conduct open-ended discussions, not closed as it happens in the college, by asking enthusiastic members to contribute in the form of the research and send that research for publication. And they also provide spaces, provide platforms such as conducting conferences, conducting at the national, international level. For instance, it's a common experience that after the pandemic, most of the conferences, the theme of the conferences, main themes of the conferences have moved away from teaching grammar alone to teaching the same grammar, perhaps getting mediated by digital apparatus, digital platforms, teaching poetry online, teaching grammar online, teaching listening online, teaching several aspects of English language online. Why has it happened? It has happened because our associations, professional bodies have positively reacted to the reality. And that reality has been captured and put to discussion. That's why I'm sure many of you would have attended scores of webinars while being under the lockdown. During the lockdown, and I mean, there are quite a few jokes, and one person walking out into the college with baskets full of certificates of webinars you would have attended during the lockdown. So it's jokes apart, but it's a serious issue. And it's very good that our attitude is so inclusive that we make a lot of jokes on ourselves. And thereby proving that we are agile and open to not only serious things, but also making others pull our legs. So therefore, what I'm trying to say is that professional organizations of this kind act as conscious keepers of our consciousness. They tell us what's happening in the field. They tell us how we can overcome this situation, the problematic and the challenges that we face. We ask us, they call upon us to look at the situation and try to provide solutions for us. Eltai, for instance, particularly under the stewardship of Elango, what he's doing is that he's on a national campaign. Some of you would have read, who follow Hindu. He keeps writing about why reading as a mission to be implemented. Many of us would have heard others say that, there is when we were children, we used to read a lot of books, and nowadays children don't read any books, and they hardly find time to sit with a book. So reading as a habit, it is now widely echoed that is declining, dwindling in our academic spaces. So he is now taking it up as a movement. It's called reading movement, and whereby he is asking all the members of this Eltai to encourage their students to read a lot by establishing something called reading clubs. So, for example, under this chapter, you're also called upon to start a reading club, and that reading club will help not just our colleagues, but also our students to take to reading and what happens when you read, and it changes the way we understand, and we'll be able to make a distinction between what is today and what is tomorrow. And one of my colleagues in one of the meetings was saying, I think it must be all your experience too, in our culture, all of us, if not us at least, all those who are educated along with us, they stop studying once they get a job. Right, that's a common knowledge and understanding about their education. Education means you land a job, and after that you stop doing it, stop reading, stop writing, stop buying books. So in that house, there was an old lady who asked my colleague, Amma, I know that people study for jobs. You have a job. Why do you always see in buying books and reading? Why do we do it? Why do we have to read it? As teachers, we have to buy books and read in order to help our learners. Otherwise, we get rooted in time, space, and situation. And to make our life more meaningful, and also life of our learners more meaningful and profitable, we have to read. So one of the things that we can do by following this professional association is to have camaraderie, get connections, and also get to know what's happening across the field of English language learning. Those who read make interesting speakers. Do you agree with me? Do you have anything to say on that? Those who read make interesting speakers. Those who don't read make boring teachers too, not just speakers. That's why to add the fresh air into our discourse that we do on daily basis. We've got to bring in new windows on the world through which we encourage our learners to see their own daily life in a different color. It's all because so reading makes it. So through Eltai, what's happening is that we get encouragement to establish clubs. And how to establish the club? We have to get networked with the similar chapters which are already there, and how they established, and what nitty-gritty is required, and how to go about continuing, because establishing is easier. Andrulu, Arambha, Shurulu. Later on, you get to hear about Yoributna Veki Veki Edustundi Annaranta. So whose child is this? And you see it crying inconsolably. So therefore, it's very easy to start, but maintaining this chapter is a big deal. And for that, we've got to get networked with others and learn from them. These professional associations also publish quality journals. Eltai, for instance, has 3 important journals. One is Journal of English Language Teaching. There is Journal of Literature Teaching. There is Journal of Technology for the English class. Apart from that, on the website, you will also get to see that if there are interest groups, special SIG, special interest group. For instance, Anurag University is specialized in providing engineering education. And some of you can, if you send a proposal to Eltai for financial as well as help in terms of advice, guidance, as to how different is English for general purposes to English for engineering purposes. Within engineering, we've got several other departments. There is computer science department, there is electronics department, there is electrical department. Is mechanical still alive? Okay. Mechanical department, automobile department, biotechnology, and you have all new things, AI department. But notice that as teachers, make it a point to see the distinction that exists between one stream of learning to the other. And there, you can get networked with people who are working in that field in the other colleges and other places, and start having a dialogue, interaction. And you can together take the help from the experts in the field, that is called SIG. What's SIG? People with special interest. This special interest is, you will notice that English across the disciplines is not same. Structurally different. It is different from the point of view of vocabulary. It's different, therefore different from the point of view of pronunciation. So once you say some English is structurally different from general English to technical English to engineer English is a blanket term. Within each branch has its own vocabulary. But I always make it a point when I meet engineering English teachers, asking them, do you see a difference between teaching general English and engineering English? English for science purposes, English for physics, English for commerce, English for non-English teachers. So these are all smaller varieties, having their own structure, having their own vocabulary, having their own purpose of communications. So what I'm trying to ask you is that those who are teaching mechanical engineering will get support from other teachers of English who are teaching mechanical engineering and have a dialogue. In fact, once in 2 weeks, there is a special WhatsApp communication from other members of Eltai on special interests of this kind. And once in 2 weeks, we have a webinar conducted on the topics suggested by the chapters. So these discussions will certainly produce some conclusions. In that, conclusions require what is called put to practice somewhere. They have to be tested, research. Once the research is crystallized, that becomes a knowledge. And that knowledge will have to be published somewhere. These professional associations facilitate such a space in the form of research journals to publish our knowledge. And why one should also become members of this, in the API score, I'm sure you would have known what it is. When you ask for a promotion from assistant professor to a associate professor to a full professor, now another category also being added called senior professors, you need to show your score in the form of API. If you are a member of a professional association, you will also get some points which can add up to your strengths to reach the heights that you're aspiring to. Another facility that we have of this is that, for instance, some college here, there was one last year conducted in Mumbai, it's a degree college. Of course, there's PG affiliated to Mumbai University, Arts and Social Sciences, wanted to conduct a national, because of late UGC mandates that all colleges, if they go for NAC, they also have to have these conferences, have to have these workshops, have to have these FDPs, yes, professional development programs to be conducted. And those colleges which are far removed from the maddening crowd find it difficult. And at that time, associations of this kind will come handy in giving guidance as well as chip in to collaborate with the college, like Eltai and Anurag University tomorrow can go about conducting a seminar, and Eltai will provide the international experts of that area. It has a inventory of scholars who would come down to grace and add strength to those. Therefore, associations of this kind can help individual colleges to have cooperation, to have those sponsor the program and be part of it. And some associations also have newsletters. For instance, this chapter can have newsletter, and this newsletter can go to all other English language teachers working in the adjoining colleges or within the college as to what activities have been conducted. They can also announce certain gifts to those who publish papers, those who present papers, those who initiate discussions related to the field. And sometimes in a university, I have my own personal experience that these professionals, become islands. Each one is an island, impregnable it becomes. It's very difficult to talk to each other if the department is not cohesive. When we want to know how we perform in our profession, the best way is to ask our colleagues, come and sit in our class, and after the class is over, go out, under a tree or with a cup of tea or coffee, can discuss as to how we performed. One of the important aspects of professional development is to attend the teaching sessions of our own colleagues with an open mind. That's the issue. We develop this open mind. We develop this altruistic nature only when we think not as individual teachers, but professionals, part of a continuum called English language professionals, English language teaching. And here, by establishing a club in our university, a chapter like this, and we can talk to each other, facilitates some kind of give and take among the members, and thereby the egos that rule us more than the professionalism will get dissipated, and there will be some saner communication among the members, facilitating a dialogue. So associations of this kind will facilitate a dialogue, will also help us get networked with our colleagues working in other places, and help us participate in seminars, help us conduct seminars, conferences, and seminar proceedings can also be published because they have access to publishers and experts at the international level. And I would like to end this presentation wishing all of you all the best, very best. And this chapter will envision and provide a space for you to have a dialogue with the members of your department and members working, English language teachers working elsewhere, through a constant networking with others. Thank you very much, the organizers of this talk, particularly the Department of English, Anurag University, and the management and others, English teachers who have come from other colleges here to witness this event, and which has to be carefully nurtured. The baby has to be nurtured in such a way that it grows up well and healthily, and providing guidance to others to grow professionally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions? Because that's where where the crux is. Although my knowledge of Eltai is not so much, except that I help them in publishing GELT. Others, I can post all these questions to the National General Secretary, Professor Elango. Any question, clarifications that you require? Yes, madam.
Yeah, so myself, Dr. Jyotsna Krishnan. So I'm not an expertise in language teaching research, I could say, even though I'm a teacher. So my confusion regarding the language teaching and language teaching research is how well these kinds of professional chapters can, because when you talk about language teaching research and language teaching, it is like when you look at it, it goes sometimes in a very different perspectives. Like sometimes the level of language teaching research that is happening will be in the other side, and what we say as language teaching research, especially in the academic circle, will be in the other other way. So my question is like how well these kinds of professional chapters can help them gel these kinds of the research which is happening in the language teaching area and what we call as language teaching, which is happening in the academics. How well we can just gel these things together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, innocence is always respected. And I like the way you said it, that although you have been in this profession, but I find it difficult to understand the research which goes beyond realms of the work I am expected to discharge. See, this is because of the problem that most of us are not trained in the myriad ways of researching. We always ask somebody else, especially those guides, sir, can you give me a topic? That's the malady And that's where the disease is. Which means to say that you have no interest, you have no problem, you have not, because there's, at the end of the day, you have to, raise a question called research question. In literature, you may not have any research questions. It's only interpretations. But you see the game that we play with symbolic agencies called languages. Unless there is a burning desire, grappled with a problem, challenge that you face. For instance, teaching, listening is a problem. But how many of us realize that it's a problem? Unless there is listening in the language classroom, developing other skills is a big issue. Okay, if you pursue your research with a problem that you've encountered, there is always a space to find a rapprochement between what you do and what you research. The other day, 2 days, I was part of a university trying a subject expert and a CAS. That university is established to teach English at the engineering level. 85% of the teachers have done their PhD in literature. They say, I love literature. I asked. That's good. All of us love literature and we read the way we want. But how does it help you become a language teacher? Because literature teachers speak continuously, they love their voice and they love the interpretative skills and theories and enthrall the audience. Okay. So they don't find the relation between what they research and what they do. So we all love literature. That's why we did our MA English. We love literature. That's why there is Amazon walking in on daily basis with new books. But you are a language teacher. You should know where you are disposed. So the grammar of teaching language is different from the grammar of teaching. I don't know whether we can teach literature to anyone at all, because we have a Rama Brothers question and answer with nose completely closed. After regurgitating in the examination hall, we know how dirty it was. We run away. So, therefore, you find a balance between what you do and also what you research. Otherwise, you will do different things. We do because our guide was an expert in Shakespeare. So we no charge for you to talk about teaching reading at engineering level. What problems that we encounter? We have to do Shakespeare there to please him or her. But I think these places, private universities, are now emerging as the new ray of hope for new researchers. Because here you don't force somebody to come, forcing, I'll give you a social welfare hostel if you do PhD. I'll give you Rajiv Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, another Gandhi fellowship if you do research fellow. That's the worry. And the results, we can see it happening, madam. Hope I answered. At least I set something in motion to discuss. Because in social sciences, we have answers. Mathematics is the biggest problem in our life. I'll talk about it next time. Because they say 2 into 2, 4. But our life is 2.5. What do we do? I want a world where there are no maths teachers. I may run away from it. Yes, madam, anything? I switched it off, but still it's working. Working. Is there some magic? Any more questions? There's a newspaper I'm sure you would have known. It's called Varta. I think it's gone into oblivion today. But their edit page has an interesting expression. Prashna leni chota bratuku, prashnardhakam bahu. In a very granthika, rhythmic manner, the very profound expression I felt. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your innovative and wisdom talk addressing the gathering this morning. And your talk was quite informative to everybody present here. Thank you very much, sir, for being so patient and enlightening us with your knowledge regarding English language teaching. Thank you so much. Now it's the distribution of certificates to the participants. So as I call out the names, I request the presentees here to come forward and receive your certificates this morning. So the first person I would like to call is Mr. G. Venkateshwarlu from Anurag Engineering College, Kodad, to come forward and collect your certificate. Yes. Next, A. Srinivas Reddy. A. Srinivas Reddy from Spurti College of Engineering, Hyderabad. Next, Ms. K. Shrivani from VJIT. Madam, please come forward. Mr. Mamidalla Ramesh from SNIST.
Mr. Praveen Atota from SNIST. Shrivani ma'am, K. Shrivani ma'am from VJIT.
Can we all put our hands together? Yes.
Mamidalla.
Mr. Mamidalla Ramesh from SNIST. Shri Praveen Atota from SNIST. So please come forward. Shri G. Chandrasekhar from SNIST.
Shri M. Lenin Babu from SNIST. Mr. D. Panduranga Rao from Anurag, Kodad.
Dr. S. Ramesh from GNITC, Hyderabad. Dr. S. Ramesh.
Dr. S. Ramesh from GNITC. Dr. S. Ramesh. CH Radhika ma'am. Ayla Upender sir. CH Radhika ma'am. Ayla Upender, sir. K. Mallikarjun, sir. M. Hari Prasad, sir. Ravindranath M, sir, from Sanskriti College of Engineering. So now we invite Dr. GVS and Lakshmi ma'am to present a memento as a token of our appreciation to Professor K. Venkat Reddy, sir.
They speak visions from their own lives.
Now we invite Ms. M. Banu of the Department of English. M. Banu ma'am to give the vote of thanks. Please note that after that, the executive committee members are requested to come to the desk for a photograph.
Thank you, Nandini. Good morning, one and all. I'm Mrs. Bhanu, Assistant Professor. The official vote of thanks is expressed by our Pradeep sir. I'm here to extend my vote of thanks to the people who are not on the stage or off the stage, but in fact, they are behind the screen. In fact, they are the ones who have materialized the whole event here. So let me take the opportunity to thank the stage committee, the transport committee, the felicitation committee, the anchors, the food committee, the Eltai registration desk, Shruti from Ala for the prayer song, and special thanks to Malesh for taking care of the mic arrangements here. On the whole, I thank each and every one who have Ajay, the one with the yeah, he is the one who's clicking all the what is the memorable moments over here. Thank you, one and all.
Before we conclude this session, here is a small, very good gesture that came from management. Just now it is received. Management is going to sponsor the Eltai membership, the 3-year short-term membership for all the Anurag faculty who are here for the last 3 years. Right, and they are asking all of us to go for the long-term membership of 10 years and all, right? First of its kind, the professional chapter memberships, as sir rightly said, let us form SIG, all the nearby colleges and all, so that we can go forward professionally, not only our teaching and all. So let us concentrate on upskilling. Then before concluding, I cannot conclude my session without paying an open gratitude to all the event coordinators, Sunil Kumar and Srinivas, who worked day and night to make this event a grand success. Yes. Yes. And the design team and our PRO, Dr. Tara Singh Thakur, who is there behind all the banners and all, without whom we are not there to do with the communication, basic communication of reaching all the people. And I thank each and everyone of my department who contributed relentlessly for the last 1 month, because as somebody told rightly, it was sprouted out. The idea sprouted out 1 month before. I shared with the department, and without any second thought, all of them came forward. Today we are here. right, everyone contributed in their own way. This is what we have proven the teamwork, what we teach to the students. Right. And coming to all our scholars, the department scholars, 12 scholars are there. All of them readily agreed when we have initiated the chapter. Not only those who are associated with Anurag University, even the other English fraternity also came forward to associate with us. Definitely will meet your expectations. Definitely we are going to make some kind of the unifying factor where we can concentrate on the professional development and all. And apart from this, I definitely should thank my ALAP members. I'm little partial. I'm the, I'm the chairperson of ALAP and president of ALAP is here with us. Shruti, for the last 2 hours, and because she initiated very well with a good kind of the kirtan. And coming to last, I have to say thanks to my team of supporting team, Praveen Kumar, A. Madhavi, and D. Madhavi and all. Without them, this would not have happened. And one more important key person in the department is our own beloved Praveen, who is the attender and who did his role very, very well. Definitely, I thank management who provided these resources. Without these things might not have happened. So thank Dr. Palarashwari sir, our chairman, and our CEO ma'am, who are unable to be here because of their busy schedules. But once we go forward, madam, we want to do this. There is no any other kind of the thing except yes. That's the only word. That's how they have supported. This is the result of their support. So I hand over the mic to Dr. MSR sir.
I thought I would give a word of advice by inviting the scholars who are doing their PhDs in Osmania University or EFL University in the Department of English over here, and then talk about their topic and the manner in which their research is progressing will help and will do wonders for those who are here too. Think in terms of serious research. Doing PhD is not a great research, but after that, the research happens. Therefore, the research methodologies and the kind of research questions each of them have, how they go about undertaking their further investigation, conducting of classes and all, will help immensely. It is all discussions which give a fillip to the way we understand our work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your advice. And I'm glad we could do this event with all the support of each and everyone. And I'm sure that we really appreciate the gesture shown by our colleagues of other institutions like institutions from Srinidhi College, I think Anurag College, Spurti College, Vijay IT, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology and Sciences, and Samskriti College, if I'm right. Did I miss any college over here? Yeah. And now I feel very happy because this is an association where whenever we go to any other colleges, when there are events related to Eltai Association, we have a lot of informal conversations along with formal sessions that makes us to grow better in our life. And it's not that easy task to come and attend any program anywhere because, of course, now after COVID, we have been online most of the times, but now people are slowly, if you want to go from one institute to other institutes, like especially, I think this is the first university chapter that inaugurated in Telangana, if I'm right, sir, university level, and all others are institution level. And I hope that as sir was asking us to conduct a lot of programs, like it's not an easy task conducting at our level itself. Now we invite all the other college faculty also to come forward. Before we conclude, I request the people who have come from the colleges of other colleges and our colleges, if you have, you can come and speak 2 minutes about the importance of CPD, what we have, we had a session now, which is very important. So I request from the colleges to come and speak for 60 seconds or 120 seconds, choice is yours. At least to make. Can I call Praveen? Why don't you come, Praveen? Yeah, give. Yeah, Srinivas Reddy sir, Praveen and all, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, he is the man always, whenever we say a word, he's there with us, along with his colleagues and all. Thank you very much, Praveen. Give a round of applause for Praveen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Srinivas sir, dignitaries on the stage and of the stage. It's a great privilege to me to address at this situation. So it's a wonderful program, sir, like continuous professional development. As the guest of honor and chief guest, they rightly mentioned that like continuous relationship, it is very, very important, like a professional relationship. And that bridge the gap and that enhances as an individual and as a whole of teaching fraternity to create wonders. So really, I'm very grateful to Anurag University management and especially today's organizer, sir. It's really wonderful, great opportunity to all of us. Thank you very much on behalf of Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology. Thank you all, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Srinivas said sir to come and speak. Give a round of applause. We can invite sir.
Can we clap, please?
So, good morning, you all, sir. And sir, while he was talking about this Eltai, this was a small baby. Of course, it has taken the birth, in fact. But honestly speaking, when I was associated with this Aurora consortium while working with Ramappa College of Engineering, and Dr. Thiru Venkateswamy, I suppose his name, NIT professor. At that time, we took this initiative at even Ramappa College of Engineering with his guidance. At that time, what happened, even I got the subscription of almost all 3 years. I found the articles in the magazine, which we used to get, quite useful, like not only just for literature or anything else, articles, on, especially in soft skills and all those things related to this corporate world also. And I'm a non-PhD. I'm not a doctor. And right now, definitely I have got some regrets. For all these days, I thought that to be a good teacher, to be an excellent teacher, there is no need of any doctorate, what I thought of. Right now, UGC and all other, when it comes to the, in order to be an assistant professor or associate professor or somewhere else, any college, engineering college or university, is it something like, what do you call, anything mother of invention, necessity is the mother of invention, something like that. But right now, honestly speaking, when I observed Dr. Madhi Sridhar and especially Sucharan Reddy sir and all these people, honestly speaking, their contribution and papers and publications and all those things made me realize definitely in order to have a professional growth, definitely I have to be a part of this. And then honestly speaking, sir, when I'm on this mission and when I attended this program with a true motive, and I feel that the purpose has been successful. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Lenin sir, anyone else from any other colleges?
Sir, any lady faculty member?
Kishore is very specific, I think so.
Because no, because
I
only
appreciate
two
that,
gentlemen came forward and spoke.
I understand. I appreciate it. Okay. Anyone else would like to come and share your about CPD? Sure, is very specific. Even from our university, they can come and speak. There's no, but like, it's very important to pronounce properly. When people like Venkatreddy sir is there, is it lazy faculty or lady faculty? Sir, it is only lady faculty, gent faculty. Thank you very much. Okay, without further delaying, I once again thank each and everyone for making your presence here. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Please join for lunch. Before that, all English department of Anurag University join for the group photograph. Then later we'll take a photograph with the EC members. And I request all the participants to have their lunch. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And before that, could we all rise up for national anthem? I request everybody to stand up for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाता जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद।